Okay, so today we're going to start off with a new format where I don't start off in the beginning and blah, 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 and bore people. We're going to get started right off the bat. So welcome everybody who is going to be joining us within the next 2 to 3 to 5 minutes. We are doing double embossing techniques today. I'm going to try out 2 of them. One of them, you just leave it all on one piece like this one. And there's some two-toning going on. And then, of course, the resist. And then this one was a double emboss with a clear. I believe I used clear on this one. This one I used white, which is why I think the purple sunk into the background. But this one was a clear and a gold. And if I tilt it just right, you'll be able to see the shine of the gold. And then I did some tearing on this one, and that's how I came up with. This is not a regular A2 card. It's not 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So if you want that kind, you really have to cut your card down really small so that when it stretches out, you get the size you want. This might even be too big, but I'm just going for the technique for now, and we can chop it off and use the pieces that we want on our card later. So these are 2 of the ones that, I did before. So sometimes I have time to prep before, sometimes I don't, and we're going to use those today to branch off and see what other kind of fun stuff we can come up with using that same stuff. I'm just going to go ahead right now and readjust everything so that I can see what I need to see. So if I need to bring you in or bring you out, I have everything where it needs to be. Okay, now on the first one, we're going to try the one that looks like it's two-tone, but when I did it, I used white and the purple went behind. It really literally looks like it melted, and I stamped the purple first, but I didn't. I stamped the purple second, and I melted behind that white. It's a pretty cool trick. Not what I was going for, but really cool anyway. So let's start with something like that. I'm going to use, for this one, I think I'm just going to stick with the leaves because the leaves seem to have a nice effect for me. So as I bring you in here, you should be able to see some of the shine from where I put this, and I'm using Versamark, which is a clear ink pad. So I'm going to get that all over this little page in different ways. And what I'm doing is tilting to find the shine so that I have an idea where I put the last one down so that I don't overlap these. I'm definitely going to be overlapping them eventually with the double embossing, but for right now I just want them to be separate and fill the whole paper. I want to hear something super exciting, and I'm sure you're going to hear it again, but my kidney transplant, February 11th, 2000 and what would it have been? 2014. My anniversary is coming up, which means my regular insurance will take over again, and I will be ineligible for Medicare, so I can get off of that, and I won't have to pay for that anymore. So that's awesome. Now what I'm doing here is putting it in clear embossing powder, not white. The first time I tried white, this time we're going to try clear. Welcome to everyone who was able to come out tonight. Thanks for joining us. We will probably have Kathy Dunahee here tonight. Deanna will be here to answer some questions. And what else do I need to say? If you haven't already been invited to or checked out Quality Crafts on Facebook, that is where everyone from here goes over to join in so that you can get a card on your birthday, which is what Kathy does. And she runs the swaps, and I try to maintain the weekly challenges. And we just have a lot of fun inspiring each other over on that Facebook page. It's not a page, it's a group. And you're cordially invited as of right now if you're here. We'd love to have you come over. I am going to turn the heat gun on, but I believe it will sound cancel after a few seconds. Were just a couple of spots that looked like they weren't getting heated real well. But now they're almost a light gray color that you can see them pretty well. And I'm going to re-stamp over the top of this, but this time I'm going to emboss them, double emboss in gold instead of clear, or actually no, I'm not. I'm going to do the gold one next. I'm going to pick a color for this one. So purple is what we tried last time. I'm going to just stick with that just so we can see what kind of a look we get. So what I'm talking about is this first one that I tried. I embossed this one in white. I think I was supposed to emboss it in clear, so maybe more of the color would come through. And this one too, it looks like the embossing of purple was done first, but I actually did the white first and the purple just melted right underneath that. So cool. But I'm going to use this one. It's called Dusty Concord. You can use whatever inks you have laying around, but these are the ones that I have closest to me. So I'm going to ink that up as heavily as I can because I want to make sure that some of that purple shows up. And then, because it looks kind of light to me, I'm not going to let these dry. I'm going to overstamp slightly off center on each one of these and put the powder on right away, so I don't take the chance of it not getting on there. All right, so let's get this kind of a pattern down. So ink on your stamp, and then find your next stamp. Try to get right on top of it because you won't, and it'll be off stamped, it'll be off centered, and that's what we want. We don't want them exactly on top of the other one. And we're going to do that all the way around. So ink up, stamp again. Now right now you can totally see the purple, right? So you want to keep your eye on that. We want to see what happens when this embosses. This technique does take a little bit of time, but if you love the magic of embossing, it's totally worth it. Wow, like I'm trying to be really off, and that one was almost dead on. Talk about crazy chance of luck. All right, inking up again. Gotta be kidding me. I think that one was almost dead on too. I didn't ask for any miracles today. They come when you least expect it. Okay, that one was way off. I did that on purpose. You really get a much cooler look if you don't have them dead on. So some of you who follow me quite a lot, I opened up a test channel so that I could test out trying to use a mic, a headset mic, so that I could hear somebody telling me what to respond to so that I don't miss all of your chit chat going on all the time. And it didn't work out. And for some reason, even though I had it on a separate channel, 1 minute of that chit chat went into a live stream and posted on my regular channel, which is completely odd because The other 25 minutes went to the test channel, which didn't make any sense, but I'm still working on that. I think that would really be fun. And thank you to all of the people who are in the Donation Nation Quality family, because this, if you go back and just pick out any one of my older videos, put that up and put this video up next to it, you will see how bright white this video is compared to the old ones. I looked at it the other day. It was strikingly amazing. That was all you guys helping me out so that I could better the programming here, the lighting, and all of the technology so that I can stay up to date with everything. So thank you. It's awesome. Now let me move this one out of the way. We still have to emboss those purple leaves. Let's see what happens. It gets so illusionary. I had to force my eyes to search for the purple while I did that. How weird. And now we're going to take the inks and ink over the top of this. I'm going to pull out some old mail here and put it on top of here, and this is what I'm going to ink on for today. The only reason is because people are like, well, don't you have your nonstick mat under there? I do. But when you ink off the edge of your paper onto your nonstick mat, all that ink is still there, but you don't see it. And so you're running your fingers into it, you're running the back of the card into it, and it transfers on stuff. So if you do it on here, that gets absorbed by the paper. You can use regular scratch paper. And that way you don't get all of that, ink traveling around. I'm using my embossing buddy to get rid of the sticky there. I didn't really need to, I just felt like playing around. Alright, as you can see here too, there's some funky marks here because there's Versamark left there from where I stamped off on here. We're going to use some lighter greens and then some darker greens. We're going to go right over the top of this. I'm just going to use ink to paper, but because I'm using, this one is crushed olive, because I'm using distress inks, I can also use a water brush that's got water in the barrel, or if you don't have a water brush, a regular paintbrush and just a cup of water next to you, and I can spread that color around if I want. So I'm going to start out with the crushed olive. I'm going to put this around in a couple of spots here. And that's one of the lightest colors that I have here today. And then I'm going to bring that up with, this one is super dark and I love the color. This one is Forest Moss. This one's very dark. And all of these inks react with water. So I'm going to put down some bright green. It's called Mowed Lawn. And fill in a little bit of the holes there that I feel like I didn't quite get covered. Then I'm going to use the water brush, to move some of that ink around and see what other kind of blending we can get. I'm just going to kind of go over all of it so it settles and blends together. I probably should not have eaten my dinner before I came on. It causes me to have this throat clearing issue. I don't know if that happens to anyone else. Maybe it's just my own personal throat clearing issue, but you never know. All right, now I'm going to take one of my not wet anymore baby wipes from the garbage can. And I'm going to wipe off where the resist is, where these are. See if I can get any more of that green to just come off the top of that resist. That turned out a little bit better. So now you can see that kind of purple and white, and then the rest of the leaf got just filled in like that. So we did a double embossing with ink on the top. That one turned out really cool. Where's the one that, this is the one that I'm kind of comparing it to. Although on this one I left some white marks open. I was trying to mimic the look or style of tape ripping or paper ripping. Well, I wasn't getting the kind that I wanted to. I was trying to use masking tape, but it didn't work out. But that looks really cool. So now let me show you how I did that other one. This one right here. I'll redo this one so you can see how that happened. It's going to be the exact same thing, except for on the top I'm going to use gold, and then I'm literally going to rip the paper and show you how I set this up. So what you're going to need is a small piece of white. Now this is at a brown. I happen to put mine on brown. If you see the brown coming through in the middles here. If you don't want to use brown, you can use white or any other color that you want. But I prepped my brown and I did it 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so it'd be an A2 size card front. And I made the white piece smaller so that when I ripped and it started stretching out, it would cover this. I'm thinking now that since I'll be ripping it this way, I might want to cut off even more, another 1/2 inch here, so that as it spreads out, I'll be able to cover this. I am going to do that. I'm going to cut off another extra 1/2 inch. So if you're playing along, this is 4 1/2 by, I did it 4 1/2 by 4. So you know it's shorter on one side. This sheet right here is 4 1/2 by 4. This one is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I will not remember those later. I'm just experimenting here today, so if you want that, I would write it down now. The bottom piece is A2 size card, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And this piece right here is, see, I already forgot what it was. 4 1/2 by 4 1/4. I got that wrong. 4 1/2 by 4 1/4. So there the two are written. All right, let's get started. I'm thinking that, I don't know what would happen if we used a more solid stamp. I want to use this butterfly one. I mean, not butterfly. Camera on, brain dead. Dragonfly. I'm going to use this dragonfly, and I'm going to do the same thing that we did with this one. So it'll be a dragonfly, but it'll be clear and gold. And then we'll use the ink. Now on this one, if you don't have a lot of inks, this is all one color ink. I just used the dark one, the Forest Moss, this one. And I smooshed it down, you know, a couple of different places. And then I used the water brush to like spread it out. That's just one single color. And it looks like, you know, a blending of a bunch of different colors. So that's a really cool, fun way to use your inks as well. pull out a piece of printer paper so that when I stamp this, I don't get Versamark all over my mat again. I don't know. It's just a personal preference. You can do whatever you want because you are an artist. You all are. Y'all artists. Doesn't matter if you're working with Crayola or the top of the line, whatever's new and fancy out there, you are still an artist. These are just a tad bit harder for me to see. I get something on that other side that I know I'm missing that corner. Well, let's put some wings there. That'll work. And some wings there. Okay. Bring our clear back over here again. I always start out with a clear or white like I did. If you want something to melt into the background, you can definitely use white like I did. I'm searching for a top. Is it this one? Yeah. I accidentally didn't. No, that's not it. I'll have to fix those later. Somehow I lost the top to one of my inks while I was messing about here. Get on with it. Let's get on with it. So now we just find places to put our fingers where we're not going to touch that ink so everything can get a little bit of embossing powder on it and we can get going. So let's see. Can you see? Yep, you can kind of see where they are. Now we're going to emboss them. Yep, if you look at what Deanna Baird, sorry about that, typed out, she's got this same set. And it's Gem Insects by Inkadinkadoo. And if you want their call number, it is right here. 98846 Gemstones Insects by Inkadinkadoo. Oops. That one is just so tiny. I don't know if we'll get that one to clear out. There it is. Inkadinkadoo. But their little logo is really teeny. Teensy weensy. Oh, I almost went over this with the God darn, my mind is just fluttering away. Just like a dragonfly. Okay, let's Versamark this up and do it again. Only put it a little bit off center. And I'll try to do them all rather quickly so we can move on with this one. It is possible that they could tilt, slide and tilt, so you want to just be aware of that. It's so hard to see when you do the second one whether or not you've missed one or not. I think I hit that one and that one. I think I just have one more to go. Just this one. That one slid just a little bit, I think. And this time, instead of a color, we're going to add gold. And I'm going to use this sheet that I have underneath. I have fine gold. It's a very, very fine powder, so you're going to get a very crisp image with this. There's no glitter or anything added to it. They call it detail gold. Anything that says detail is going to get all those really fine little marks in it. A little bit of my centers didn't turn out perfectly, which we won't notice because this is going to have all kinds of stuff all over it. Because my table isn't quite flat and I didn't push up underneath to make sure that it's stamped perfectly. But this is kind of a natural, organic, real organic looking kind of a technique. So it will be okay. All right, now let's emboss that gold. I have a little bit right here that I don't want, so I'm just going to pull that off with my finger. There. That gold goes pretty fast. Woo, look at it go. And I'm completely off screen. Why didn't you tell me? This is so pretty just by itself. Can you see that glimmer? It looks really cool. This one, instead of using greens, I'm going to use purples and blues. I'm going to go for Dusty Concord. That is the one that I'm missing. There we go. Dusty Concord. Now I fixed it. Okay. And I think Salty Ocean. So let me show you those colors. Dusty Concord and Salty Ocean. And I'm just going to do these randomly, and then I may use the water brush, but I'm not sure. My other water brush might be cleaner than this one. This one's really green. This one looks really brown and green. It's not too bad. I'm going to use the red one instead of the green one, just in case. I'm guessing we're probably going to want kind of a really heavy coating so that everything sticks out a lot. So I'm going direct ink, direct to paper. When we're all done, we can take the dried baby wipes and we can rub the ink that's settling on top of what should be resisting at this point. Because it almost looks like a mottled mess in the beginning. But let's just take a little bit of water and see if we can get a little bit of movement here. Get those to blend out some. This part is totally up to you. You don't have to blend these out or add water or anything. I just happen to think it kind of puts a neat light on it. And there's also the technique, of course, that a lot of you guys know, that if you let this dry or dry somewhat and then you flick water on it, all those little water puddles will leave little like bleached out marks on this, and it looks really, really cool. So take a dry, Deborah James wants to know, does embossing powder get too old to use? I want to say it does, but I've had mine for so long and I've never actually run into one that didn't work. Maybe once. I think maybe once I did. Now, as I'm rubbing this, I don't know if you can tell from where you're at, but I can tell that the white, the clear emboss, is getting even whiter and clearer as I wipe all the water and stuff that was just sitting on top of that emboss resist, and you get this really fun double embossed dragonfly floating in the air. Or maybe he's gliding on the water. I don't know. It's really neat looking. Oh, I totally like this one. We were going to rip this one too, weren't we? We still can. Or we could rip this one. Oh, I just totally like this one. I don't know if I want to. So if you're wondering about Tim Holtz inks, I have a whole bunch of these little teeny tiny ones. As you can see, I use them quite a bit. I like them because if I want to get into a crack or a crevice or whatever, I don't want to have to use the great big square one. Plus, these take up a lot less space if you want to have more of the colors, and it's a cheaper route to go. And if you have a big stamp, you can always take the little ones and just stamp over the whole top of the stamp. So that works out too. I feel like my face and my mouth are really lagging. Does that look funny? I don't know. Let me know. I'm going to rip this one because I really love that other one. I don't want to rip that one. So it's definitely going to go beyond that because this one's really kind of short. I don't mind though. So if you notice you rip your paper one way, okay, I'm getting a white line right here. Okay, if I rip the paper the other way, the white line would be underneath. So I'm ripping backwards essentially because I want this white. Maybe I should back out a tad. I keep having to come down. Let me move this out of the way. I really want this white, the stark white, to show on my card. And there's going to be a big brown border around this, and that's fine. So then if I wanted my edge here to be white as well, I would have to tear the opposite way. But I'm not going to, because you see how nicely they match up? And it creates that brown, you know, crevice there. That's what I'm looking for. So I'm going to tear this backwards again and try to get another kind of a pattern. Maybe an in and out. And that's going to go right next to that one. And we're just going to continue down. Now this one's going to match up with that one. Okay, and it might even actually overlap a little bit. That looks cool. And we're going to do that until we get to the bottom part here. That one was a really skinny one. And I'm thinking I'm only going to have room for about one more. So let's say I'm just going to go ahead and cut this right off with my cutter at about here, about the edge of that leaf right there, so that I can force it to fit on it. And hopefully that was pretty darn close, and it was. So then I have this really fun piece that I can save for something else too. And all I did was take my Aleene's tacky glue in my little bottle, and I glue these straight down to the page. So make sure that it matches up, and it does. And as I eyeball it, I'm trying to make sure that this border around the edge, the bottom and the edge, are all approximately the same size, so that this goes straight up and down. And you just keep adding glue to each piece and follow your pattern and put them all down. So we were promised Helter Skelter from Mother Nature this week, and we didn't get hardly any what she promised to give. Although we did get a 2-hour release 2-hour early release yesterday, but I was like, really? Like, if you watch my other video, there wasn't nothing falling from the sky. So I always find that interesting when they make the call, because sometimes we wish they would make the call. Like this morning when the roads were slippery as all get out, and there was no call for that. I'm glad I'm not the person that has to make those decisions. I should probably say that and leave it lie. Because they're probably darned if they do and darned if they don't, right? Who would want to have the whole city on your rear end for making the wrong choice? Not moi. Art is so forgiving. That's why it's relaxing. And I didn't quite make it to the end, so I must not have realized how quite close I put those together. So I'm just going to probably cut just a little piece off here. Now if we did a third emboss, then I would third emboss this with I would sticky on some glitter, and I would emboss that glitter into this. That would look really cool. That would be so fun. We could totally do that. There we go. I just cut off a little bit so that I can make it a little bit more even around the edges. That is a cool technique. Now, if you forget, I'll give you a tip here. If you get into this project and you get it all stamped up and you get all excited and you rip before you ink, that's what I did on this last one, this one right here. I ripped before I don't know why this one is so much harder than this one. Maybe it's just because the glue dried. Oh, this one is solid. Anyway, I ripped before I inked. And then I went, oh, because now when I ink, I'm going to cover up all these white things. That's why I got the look I did with the one ink, because I inked it on the edge here, and then I dragged my water brush, the color right to the edge, and I left all that white there. And then this one, I inked the center, and then I used my water brush to drag all that color to the edge. This one doesn't have a white edge, but the same idea. This one too, inked the dark right down the center here, then used my water brush to push that green around, but leave this nice white torn edge. So there you go. You get many, many different looks from this, but it's super cool. I like this one straight up. I think it looks really neat. Here's the other one that we made. We did dragonflies. I really love this dragonfly one. Oh, that is so cool. 53 people. Thanks for joining us. Cheers. And a little scrap left over for something maybe next Wednesday. So it is a Thursday, not a Sunday, and every Thursday we pick a winner from the people who chat in this live stream. So maybe it's you. We shall see. Can I share a little bit of happy mail since we got done with this on time? And I'm going to do one more. I'm not going to leave you hanging. I got this really cute ATC. Oh, okay, I'll show it to the one going up here. Look at this. Well, accidentally in the mail, they bumped this, and one of the little pieces of that little snowflake is gone. But isn't it cute? I feel like I'm missing a light today. It's really pretty. And it's very, very, what do you call it? Layered. There's many layers going on there, and then there's glitter on the top. We might have to do another little ATC live stream or something, doing mini cards. I like to do things that are little. It's just really super fun to me. Anyway, I got that from her. Did I mention who I got this from? I got this from, I don't want to say her name wrong, Deb Miller. I wasn't sure if it was Deb or Deborah, and she said, and she calls herself Deb. So Deb Miller, and look at these really cool things. These are little covers that you can put artist trading cards in. And she said she found hers on Amazon, and look, they're just these tiny little acetate bags. that you can slide them right into and they protect them, and then you can send them to people. So cool. Thank you very much. I was super excited to get that in the mail today. I was not expecting it. I also did get another May May Made It set. If you guys follow me, I love May May Made It stamps. And my stamp that I got this time, she's calling it Relic. This is what it looks like. And the name is always like really tiny on the packaging. It's right there. See, Relic? So it's got all these really fun patterns on it. This almost reminds me like of just a big log. And I love these little water splats. Like splat, splat. That's what we should do. We should do one with that splat mark. Okay, let's do another doubled one. Let's do another double embossed card with the splats. Because they are stinking adorable. I just can't get enough of that. I'm going to put them both on the same block here. My blocks are looking really grungy. If you ever have blocks that look grungy like this and all dirty, alcohol will take most of it off of there. Just straight up alcohol. And then to clean them up and make them so that they're a lot more sticky to these, just a little bit of gentle dish soap, like something like Dawn. So as I stamp with these, I'm going to stamp those two together like that. So I'm going to need one more base. I honestly thought that I had over prepared because I always over prepare, and today I'm under prepared. So how do you like that? I do have some out. I just have to cut it down a little bit. Not sure what size I have here. 4 1/4 by. Well, let's just do this size. What is this? 4 by 4 1/4. Let's just do a square card. 4 by 4. I think that'd be fun. 4 by 4. So this is gonna go on a square one. And do we want to do? Well, we definitely want to start out with clear. Where did I put my verse mark? I found it, don't worry. How many of you guys have seen my 5-minute card video this week? Today's Thursday, so it went out last night. Oh, this is so hard to see. I don't know, am I losing my eyesight, or maybe there's just not enough ink left in there. I don't know. These, to double stamp, the double ink, these I think are going to be kind of a pain in the butt. I'm just going to have to keep my eyes wide open. Oh my word, I just literally can't even see these. That's crazy. Sometimes art is crazy. What did you guys think of that one? What I'm trying to decide is the humor still on fleek? Or is the humor getting to be too much? Too little? Not enough? Let me know. And for all of you people that don't know what on fleek means, it's the middle schooler's way of saying that something looks perfect or superb or great. I work at a middle school, so once in a while I catch some of their lingo. Not much though. Usually what I catch is the swearing. Lots of swearing going on. Whew. Oh, look, because I missed a spot in the middle. I'm going to just bring this up here. Right here in the middle. Nothing there. That's where the sentiment goes, right? I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. Definitely on fleek. Okay, thanks, Jenny. Jamie Hunt says she loves the humor. Sassy Crafter says she likes the humor. I know this part is super hard to see. Bear with me. Woo, getting hot on that side of the paper. Shiny splat. Splat, splat, splat. Splat. Ooh, and I just had a thought too. What if we made these out to be like water splats, like splats on a window? We could do like blue splats, dark blue splats, and then do the background like a light green to make them really pop out. I thought that would be really cool. That just came to me. See, that's how art is. It just, as you're doing stuff just goes bing, 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 like popcorn in your brain. Cheers. So we're going to take this. I think I'm going to grab a different ink though. What did I say? A dark blue. Oh, I have an even darker blue. Let's see if we can find that one. Blueprint Sketch. Now I don't have this one in the little teeny one. So this one is going to come from one of the larger ones. Blueprint Sketch is a very deep blue. Look at that. Let's do that one. And now that they're shiny, at least I can see what I'm doing, right? And bring over this, because I don't know how long this stays really, really wet. So we want to make sure that these do go off without a hitch. And again, we're going to off-center stamp. Do I need to back out a bit here, or are you guys going to be able to see this? Let me watch. No, I think we're okay. That better not be someone opening up my door that I hear right now. I hear that door creaking. I had to lock my cat all the way down the hallway. He won't leave me alone tonight. Maybe he wants to be in the live stream. Popcorn in your brain. It happens, right? It's a thing. It's so a thing. We'll make it a thing. We'll call it Jen Evers Popcorn in Your Brain. Pop, 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 pop. Oh, but I could tell you about the meme that I saw the other day, which I'm sure everyone else in the world has already seen too. The popcorn thing reminded me of it, so I can't help it. And it said, I hope you guys like gross humor, you know, because I hang around 8th graders all day. It said, do not hold your farts in, because they travel up your spine into your brain, and that's where crappy ideas come from. Trying to keep the show PG. PG, guys. If you want something beyond PG and you're over 18 and you're listening today, when we Skype, that's a let your hair down zone. So have you ever thought that you wanted to Skype, but you thought that we were too goody two-shoe for you? We don't go crazy, but, you know, you're welcome to be yourself there. Let your hair down. Wear your pajamas and bring your drink. So I would love to know some ideas out there from you guys. What would you like to be seeing coming up next in this brand new fun-filled year in the live streams? What are your interests? What's coming up? What's new? Has anyone been to CHA? I hear there's one coming up next weekend. Where is that one at? I can't remember. Just talked to Mark Montano about it just a little bit ago. Where did he say? Somewhere in Texas, I want to say, but I could be totally off. I'm just a little geographically untalented. So we finally got this done. Do you see the blue splats? Let's see what we get now. Shelby. Oh my gosh, she said Skyping with Jen and the girls is so much fun. If you haven't tried it yet, do it. What are you waiting for? Oh my gosh, they're like mixing together. Are you seeing this? That purple is turning the white. Like they're melding into each other. Let me see if I can give you a really good eyeball of that. Look. Oh, like it's a fleeting moment. Tape your eyeballs to the screen. You might be able to see it. Do you see me squinting? Oh, there it is. There it is. I'll stop breathing. Oh my gosh, it looks so weird. They're almost like pink and stuff, but like, okay, a really light background of a pale green, like almost a mint green, was in my brain. No, this one I'm gonna leave up to you. I'm not making that decision. This is what we have. We've got blue, and it's supposed to be clear, but it seems they seem to have like melded together there. What color background for this one? I'm leaving it up to you. What do you think? Whoa, we've got 10 minutes. Spilt milk? What color background? That is so weird that it like flecked through the clear and turned almost like a pink. That is showing up on your end, I hope. This was clear and blue. Clear and blue embossing powder. But I'm just waiting for someone to tell me what color of a background. I've got turquoise, orange, and light pink. Turquoise, orange, or light pink. We could do light pink and turquoise because that would go together pretty well. Don't you think? Somebody else is saying orange. Can you make orange and turquoise go together? I'm not sure. Somebody else said yellow. A very, very light mint green. Oh my gosh, now we've got a pale blue. Pink, orange, yellow. Oh lordy, guys. All right. Pink, orange, yellow. Just a second. I'm looking. Here's a light yellow. Wild Honey is more of an orange, so those two. Somebody else said light pink. Yeah, I do have pink. I do have a pink. Let me get that down. Okay, spun sugar is a pink. Somebody else said a very light blue. Did somebody say that? A light blue? That's light blue. What other color am I missing? Somebody else said turquoise. Well, the only real turquoise I have is peacock feathers. It's quite dark. That's this one. Did I get them all? All of these colors that you guys wanted. So I think I'm going to do, so I don't so I don't forget what they are. I'll put a little swatch down on here. Let me back up. You're not gonna be able to see all this if I don't. Okay, I'm putting down a swatch of each color right down in front of its own little box so that I can not only see where they are, but I know what color they are. And then I'll watercolor these on. Okay. So I'm gonna use the reds, and I know it's the water's dirty, so it's not gonna turn out perfect. But here's some yellow, and then we're going to put in some orange. Okay, I need a little bit something to wipe my brush off. And then we have a light pink. That one didn't turn out so well because the water in my brush stinks. So let's do some light pink straight to paper on this side. And hopefully some of my water will drag it a bit. I don't like that you can't see it up close. We're just trying to get you a happy medium here. And then we got some of this. What's this one? A blue. Oh, very, very, very light blue. Maybe we need more of that. Can't quite see it. And then over in this corner, we're going to do the turquoise because that's going to be a little darker. I'm missing a little bit in the middle. Let's just cover that up. Okay, this is what we got. We got a light blue and an orange. The turquoise didn't come out quite turquoise. We are running out of time. Maybe we won't be able to do more than just this one. The winner from last week, Thursday. And then I'm going to wipe the wet that's on top of this so we can see what we get. I like the look of all the colors you guys chose, though. That's really pretty. Dun, 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 dun. Last week, Thursday, would have been January 5th with Fun with Embossing Folders, Inks and Brayers. And it was Jason Lukes. Jason Lukes won that week. And then in between, we had a live stream that was anything glitter, how to use your glitter in your projects. And that was a Sunday, so no winner. But today is January 12th. This is a Thursday. Thursdays we pick our winner, so there'll be a winner tonight. And I will announce that most likely the next Thursday or on Sunday, depending. Sometimes I announce them more than once, so it just depends where I'm at with that. I'm just going to take a minute real quick here to wipe this down so I can show you a review. We're almost done with the live stream. I'm going to give you a review of what we've done. I really like this one. But let's take the dry one. This is the top of this one. And just wipe off the top and see if that changes any of those colors. I'm thinking it would be more fun with something a little darker in the back. It almost looks like splatting snowflakes to me. Like somebody just went like this and splat them in your face on a window or something. How cute. Okay, so that's what we ended up with. And everything's wet now. Ta-da! Should I back out a bit? Okay. That's my mouse pad that juts in there. Oh no, where did everything go? There we go. A little scrappy-doo left over. Because that one came from this one. Which is so cool. And then we did this one. This one's my favorite. Totally my favorite. And then this one was one that I prepped beforehand. And I believe we did one like this. Where did it go? I ate it. I was hungry. Hungry. Oh, hey, here's another one that I prepped beforehand. The one where the color, I used white on this one now and not clear. Now today we used all clear. This one I used white. Do you see how it just soaked up that purple? Look at that. It just sucked up that purple right underneath it. Like melted right in there like, I don't know. Looks like I stamped it behind the white, but I didn't. I stamped it on top. Neat effect if that's what you're going for. So that one we made. Where's the one that we made? Am I like losing my mind? I'm losing my mind and you're all coming with me. Shoot, I don't know where it went. I must have ate it. I must have eaten it. What happened to it? I swore we did another one. Did we not do another one? Oh gosh, let me close down this window. I can't see you guys. You're probably telling me and then being like, duh, Jen. Is that all we made? They are a little time consuming, I'll give you that. Because first you got to get them down, then you got to get them down again, and all that stuff. So, this was super fun. I really like this technique. Thank you to Deanna, who has an awesome book where we got a technique from. This is slightly different than the actual technique was supposed to turn out because I'm a visual learner. Like, I was drawn to YouTube because I love to see things done. I need to see them happening and then get my hands on them and try it for myself, and that's how I learn the best. So book reading and 2D text and things that aren't 3D and you know, that I can see happening, it's really hard for me sometimes, which is why I don't blog much, because I'm not really good at that part. It's not my favorite. I don't practice it at all. It's the card I did. So it must be that this is just it, right? These are the ones we did. I did these two, and then we did these two, and then we did this one, and that was that. Okay, it's 7 o'clock on the dot. Please come over to Koala Tea Crafts over on Facebook if you haven't already joined. We would love to see you there. If you want to Skype after the show, I'll be around for about an hour before I hit the hay. I don't stay up real late on weeknights because I turn off. I turn everything off and I go to bed at 8. And that gives me the time for my body to relax and recover, and so that I can give everything I have to my students in the next day. And then I have my evenings to come back and do this. So guess what? I can't wait to see you guys next video. Bye-bye.